Right, good afternoon guys. This is the third review of the day. I'm on fire and it's the one I've been most looking forward to, and it is the Douglas C47A Skytrain, representing the aircraft Night Fright, based at 466 MEMBURY, or US Station 466 MEMBURY, England, representing the aircraft on the night of the 5th and the 6th of June, of course D-Day 1944, and an aircraft that is currently being restored to flight at Coventry, hopefully to make this year's D-Day celebrations. Let's get into it and have a look. Here she is, unpacked and glorious, may I add. So in terms of the bits included in it, you've got the up undercarriage, which is a plastic bit, very light, while the down undercarriage is actually a die-cast metal. It's much more heavier and obviously chunkier to withstand the hefty weight of the aircraft itself. And of course it comes with a heavy duty corgi stand, which could probably hold your family car, and of course the limited edition certificate. Very surprisingly, only 1,000 of these were made, and I didn't pick this up when it was released quite some time ago now, obviously pre 2024 release. This is the first of the 6 released, and I'm so glad that Andy decided to shift his at a brilliant price. There's some close up of the artwork, which we'll get to in a minute. We'll talk through the history of the aircraft. I'll get her on her undercarriage and we'll have a closer look. So here she is unpacked. Really nice looking aircraft, as all the D-Day Dakotas are. Obviously the US ones are quite well recognised. You've got Buzz Buggy, you've got obviously that's All Brother, and you have the Pottery version as well. This is a great accompaniment to that collection, and really great looking aircraft. I think it's my 9th Dak, maybe my 10th off the top of my head. But of course this one is an aircraft that British Airshow followers will hopefully be familiar with come the summer. It's currently at Coventry undergoing a full overhaul, hopefully ready to make it in time for the D-Day celebrations at the start of June, and well, end of the month really, as the fleet comes over from the US to celebrate. It's adorned with the S6, which I'll talk through in a minute, and of course that lovely iconic Night Fright scheme as well. So please make sure you give the guys a follow. I'll tag them in the video and the photo review as well. But this one's slightly different, and if you can have a look underneath, which I'll talk you through more when it's up on the stand. It comes with power packs, which is the only Dakota, or sorry, Skytrain I should say, DC-3, C47, there's so many terms, but obviously the American military term was the C47, and the Brits called it the Dak. It will be iconic in the sense that it's the only one that comes with that slight modification, so well done to Corgi for doing that. If you look as well at the D-Day stripes, they've got what they call the rough markings on there, which I think is really cool. That's All Brother was the first one to sort of adorn those markings, in the sense that they were obviously hastily painted on rather than neatly painted on like they are nowadays. But I think that makes a nice little touch. I'm not entirely sure the aircraft being restored now will have that sort of finish. I think it will be clean markings rather than one sort of hand brushed on as such. But I think it's a nice little touch that Corgi have put on there to make it look like it's more authentic. It's a shame there isn't a little bit of weathering really to go with it, but of course the aircraft was relatively new at this point, operating out of MEMBURY, down in the Wiltshire area, I think it is. It's down near sort of Newbury, down the M4 way, but certainly a place to visit once she's there ready to roll. Really good finish, as I've already touched on. There's no blemishes on mine, which is always nice to see. And I'm very glad I picked this up. There's nothing better in my eyes than a D-Day Dakota all marked up, ready to go. And of course this summer we'll get to see a number of these flying in formation. It was a fantastic experience seeing nearly 30 of them fly over in formation those 5 years ago, which have passed so quick. So let's get her up on the stand and see what she looks like in flight. So here she is up in flight. Let me show you a closer look at those power packs. You can see underneath there on the large stand. You've got 6 of them in 2 rows of 3. So I was just reading up on the collector's card, and really interesting information. So around the time MEMBURY C47 squadrons received their fuselage codes, S6 was for the 79th Troop Carrier Squadron, 7D for the 80th, U5 for the 81st, and 3D for the 82nd. And then each aircraft was given its individual code. So in this case, it was D for dog. And this was S6, of course. which is the 79th Troop Carrier Squadron. And it's ironic that it was called Dog because they actually had a Cocker Spaniel who was like an unofficial crewman on the aircraft, and he was called General Happiness, and he was their sort of their good luck charm. So it was quite ironic that it was called D and they had that already. So and apparently Night Fright was being a play on the words associated with a book, which was a particular favourite of the pilot, the aircraft's pilot. And obviously the artwork featured a hard-working C47 now towing a glider. So this aircraft set off at 11 p.m. on the 5th of June to complete its parapacks and took off from MEMBURY bound for France. And of course the invasion then started. The US obviously dropped all their troops in and around, and I think they scattered them all around Normandy, not exactly where they wanted them to go. And of course the rest is history. Obviously renowned for watching The Longest Day, a film that's been around for a number of years now, but it still hits home hard at the scale of the actual invasion of Europe. But brilliant model. I'm so glad to pick this up. So thank you, Andy Beck, for letting me have this and prizing it out of your collection. Really, I can't believe they only did 1,000 on. I'm sure that you can't get hold of it for love nor money now. A bit like That's All Brother as well. Really hard to find. Fetches a great second-hand price, although this will not be going on the market, I can assure you now. Really happy to have this, and of course the very first one of the D-Day 85 Operation Overlord series from Corgi. So great job again from Corgi on this. No fault in my eyes. Again, one thing which people often talk about is the pivot on the wings, or the pitot on the wing. Oh, sorry, the hydro even. There isn't a lot on a D-Day DAK. I'm sure the experts on the forums could fix that with a little bit of manipulation of that, but I'm certainly not going to touch it with risk of breaking it because these are few and far between now. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll get some pictures up on the page as well, and make sure you follow the Night Fright guys with their restoration and their race against time to get ready for the D-Day celebrations. Have a great weekend. Take care.